Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 233. It is Tuesday today. Warm here in Cincinnati. It rained last night, so it's really ultra humid and sticky when you go outside. But everything is bright green again. So it's a beautiful summer day. We are moving through a full moon lunar eclipse tonight, which has all kinds of astrological significance and emotional impact. And there is a lot of energy that is swirling and moving around today, really over the last few days and into the next few days. And so what I thought we would do is tune into that, and then I have lyrics from a song to share. So what does it feel like when we move through this time? And I'll leave the astrological wisdom to the experts. What does it feel like in the body? What is happening with energy and movement? When there is a full moon, for example, there's more light that is coming into our planet, and the sun is reflecting off of the moon, and so there's this brilliance, this spotlight. I've described this before, but in our bedroom there's a half window on top of the regular window, and the moon shines right through that window. It literally is like a spotlight in our bedroom, right on our bed when we go to sleep around a full moon, and the room looks like the light is on. It's really, really bright. What that means for us is that what we perhaps have been wanting to hide or put under the covers or not look at is brought into more light if we choose to look at it. So for many, and this was me for a long time, the full moon would be a time of resistance. I would feel that things wanted to come up and I didn't want to look at them, or it felt kind of shadowy, or it felt sort of painful, or it was that old pattern I didn't want to think about. And so I would just sort of shut it down and push it away. And so full moons were really intense times. I would get really sad, and I would want to sleep a lot, and I'd be tired and cranky, and it was the resistance to this light that just naturally wants to flow through. What I find is when we can just be aware, I'll speak for myself, when I'm just aware that something is coming up. So for example, this morning I was thinking about work, and I had this feeling of it's a little scattered, like I have so much to do, and it's all these different lists, and I don't know how to get organized, and I don't have time to go for a run, I don't have time, to do my yoga. Like I had all these old patterns of overwhelm, and there isn't enough available time, resources, energy for me to get done what I want to get done. And so what I have learned to do when that happens is to focus on my practice. And my practice is get up, get outside, connect with the earth, run, move your body. So that is what I did. Even though it was hot and sticky and I didn't really want to go for a run, I didn't really want to have to do that when I had all these other things that needed to get accomplished. I follow my practice. I go to the rhythm that settles my body and brings my mind and my body, my spirit into alignment. For you, that may be lying still in bed and just waking up more slowly, or going for a walk, or going to a yoga class, or sitting with a cup of tea or coffee outside and looking at the trees. Everyone has a practice that serves them as they learn to develop it. For me, I went and did my run, and then I came back, and on my run, the clarification of what was a priority just started to shift into place. And the thoughts that I was having at the beginning of the run, this isn't going to work out. What am I going to do? How's this going to happen? This isn't the right next step. All of that I shifted as I was running. It's a practice that I'm getting better and better at. I'm not perfect, but I'm getting better at it. When I have the thought that feels limiting or heavy or makes me sad or makes me feel like confused or swirly, all of these energies that are brought up by full moon illumination, when I have the thought that reflects that inside of me, as I'm running, I can I want to say sit with it. I can run with it and feel into it. Is that actually true? Do I know that to be true? Is that really what's happening right now? And usually the answer is no, it's fear. It's just doubt. That's so silly. Like, I don't know any of that to be true. And so I can turn my attention on what I'm creating or what I would prefer to have happen or how I would most want to experience the thing that I'm doing next. And the fear starts to literally run its way out of my body. And then there's room for creation and love and expansion. There's room for me to feel what would feel better, feel more in alignment for me. So when I got home, I was soaked. I had to wipe off my arm and be able to put my arm on a piece of paper without it sticking. So I had to dry off a little. But I just sat down and boom, 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 boom. There's my to-do list. And it was organized in a way that matches my day, feels doable. The flow is logical. It just clarified while I was following my practice. And so that half an hour of being outside and connecting to the earth and feeling my body moving energy and moving the fear out allowed me to get really focused on how the rest of my day would go. So if you are listening to this and feeling a match to some of that overwhelm or swirl or extra energy that feels a little intense, go back to your practices. Go back to the routines and the rhythms that fuel you, that feel good to you, that bring a sense of steadiness and calm. After my run, I had my meditation, and then I knew exactly what I wanted to bring into the podcast space, so I could flow right into that. So there's an alignment in me, a movement or a momentum that carries me when it's almost like the reverse of how I used to feel. When I used to struggle and resist the energy of a full moon, it would paralyze me, and I would, not literally, but it would stop me. I would feel very stuck and like I was moving slowly through molasses and nothing was getting done, and it just felt like so much effort. As I've looked at the things I didn't want to look at or moved the fears that come up and shifted my focus, it's like an extra momentum comes underneath me and flows me right into the next thing. It's a sense of greater ease. And I believe that's the possibility for all of us as we adjust and understand more of what's happening with astrology and how that's impacting us here on this planet. When we know there's a full moon and a lunar eclipse, instead of the fear of it, we just allow it to come up underneath us and carry us into whatever we're creating. Because then, this is maybe a silly example, but it might give a good image for you. It would be like there's this moonbeam, for example. Picture this, like a moonbeam that comes from the moon right down to earth. And when we know that that's the energy that's available and we get to the top of the moonbeam where the moon is and we just slide down, it becomes like the greatest slide and the greatest adventure, and it lands us exactly where we want to be. If we're in resistance to it, it would be like we're at the slide at the top of the moonbeam and we climb underneath it and we're looking around the bottom of it and we're hanging onto the side and we're trying to sort of walk or wiggle our way down the underside of the moonbeam instead of sliding with fun down through the top. Both will get us to where we need to be, but why make it so much more work? Why make it harder? So you may have some clearing or contemplation to do to get to the place where you feel like you're ready to take a slide, to slide into whatever is coming next. Where I am may not be where you are, and it's perfect. Wherever you are is perfect. But if you know that that's a possibility, then perhaps if it feels like you're in a place of struggle or effort or pain or isolation or whatever comes up, with this intensified light, if you want to hide and pull the covers over your head, sometimes just knowing there's going to be a time where it won't be feeling this way. Sometimes that is so comforting, just to hear that. So that brings me to the song that I wanted to share today. It's by U2. It's such a great song. If you haven't listened to it, I suggest you do. It's called Song for Someone, and it was written in 2015 in the Songs of Innocence album. The lyrics, they're written, I believe, for one lover to another, one person in relationship to another, but it also feels very much like it could be about your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your God, your relationship with this experience of being here in a human body, the soul in the body. So I'll read the lyrics and allow your interpretation to resonate in whatever ways serve you. All right, Song for Someone by U2. You've got a face not spoiled by beauty. I have some scars from where I've been. You've got eyes that can see right through me. You're not afraid of anything they've seen. I was told that I would feel nothing the first time. I don't know how these cuts heal, but in you I found a rhyme. If there is a light you can't always see, and there is a world we can't always be. If there is a dark, now we shouldn't doubt, and there is a light, don't let it go out. And this is a song for someone. This is a song for someone. You let me into a conversation only we could make. You break and enter my imagination. Whatever's in there, it's yours to take. I was told I'd feel nothing the first time. You were slow to heal, but this could be the night. If there is a light you can't always see, and there is a world we can't always be. If there is a dark within and without, and there is a light, don't let it go out. And this is a song for someone. And I'm a long way from your hill of Calvary, and I'm a long way from where I was, where I need to be. If there is a light you can't always see, and there is a world we can't always be. If there is a dark within and without, and there is a light, don't let it go out. The picture that I took when I was on my run this morning was of this lamp up on a lamp post, and it was surrounded by this Rose of Sharon bush, and there were all these, I think that was the bush, I'll have to look now, I think it was, and there were all these flowers around this light, but the light wasn't on, and it just grabbed my attention. I've run by it so many times, and for some reason today I saw it, and so I took a picture. And it feels very symbolic of the energy that's available to us. We have this full moon. It's about the reflected light from the sun, but what if we light up that light within and allow it to shine out? Don't let it go out. We have all of this beauty around us. When I was looking at the flowers around this lamppost, I mean, how beautiful. And that abundance and that beauty is always there and available for us. So, yeah, take some time today if it feels overwhelming or busy or too much, and just be still. Feel into that light within and trust how it wants to move out of you. And if you're like me and you're shifting and changing the thoughts and coming back to what feels better, and it feels like you're at the top of the moonbeam and you're ready to ride the slide to wherever you're going next, allow it to be fun. Allow it to be this playful, beautiful adventure that you're taking here on earth. We need to see the fun and the examples of those who are absolutely figuring it out and getting it done. So don't be afraid to shine that light. All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, loves. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.